right. Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Chris Huckiz, and this is Your Best Life Defined. How are you doing today? Is it working yet? Are you waking up energized? I'm hoping so. I keep looking at my message and I keep going back and listening to what I've said, and granted there's some of it that's jumbled. I mean, I get involved in conversations about me and how great I am and how amazing my life is. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you don't wake up every day energized about the life you're living, you're probably not living your best life. If you don't spend a certain amount of time every day engaged in activities that you don't want to end, that you want just to keep doing, to keep being able to do those things because you dig them, you're probably not on your path to living your best life. Now I'm getting the resistance. I understand the resistance. I see it as I talk to people. They're like, well, but I can't. Oh no, that won't work. You know why? Every time I make a suggestion to someone about how they can improve the quality of their life, that's usually what I get. It's like, well, no, I can't do that. I can't do that because, well, that'd be so much different, right? You can't do that. If you want another benchmark, another gauge that you can use throughout your day to measure whether you're actually even close to living your best life, just take a minute, step back, ask yourself how you feel about the things you do. Do you schedule more of it? I mean, do you get so excited about the job you do every day that you just can't believe it? You can't wait for tomorrow to go back in and do the same thing? If you're like most people, chances are no, that's not the case at all. If you're like most people, chances are you wake up every day and you grind it out. And I think the disconnect comes in when we fail to see the connection between our choices and why our life looks the way it does, or more than that, why our life feels the way it does. See, it's that feeling that you have to pay attention to. It's that feeling that drives you. If you follow that feeling, you get to be more like a child and less like an adult. Because that's how kids do it. You know how kids choose what they're going to do throughout the day? Based on a feeling. Do we love it? Do we enjoy it? Does it make us laugh? Is it fun? Is it scary? Is it exciting? Is it new? Those are the motivations that drive children from one end of the yard to the other, from one place to the next. And somewhere, and I'm not sure where it happens, I think it happens about the time the want starts growing within ourselves. You know, the want, that transition from being happy with a stick to not being happy until you have the car, the house, all the stuff, the furniture and everything that goes with it. That's the want. And the point is that want is created by the messages that we're given, by the story that we're told by our parents, by the images we see, by the people around us and the standards that's been set. I mean, an example is Sandy and I telling people, hey, we're going to sell the house and live full-time in an RV. We're crazy. That's what they said. We're crazy. And yet, here I sit. And as I do this, the other day I was walking and thinking about life, thinking about the podcast, thinking about the direction that we want to take and making sure that we don't make any mistakes. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I don't ever want this to end. And I'm not just talking about the RV life or the podcast. I'm talking about waking up every day energized by some idea or something that I have yet to accomplish. Still grinding that book out, and there'll be a second one coming, only because if you can write one book, you can write 10, right? So I just get the first one done and the rest are going to be a piece of cake. Cheesy peasy, as someone said, right? I never want it to end. And that's, when you think about it, that is how you can gauge, that is how you can decide or decipher whether you're actually on the right path. How does it feel? Do you want to continue doing that thing? Do you schedule it every day? Is it important for you to schedule every day? And now here's the confusion. Some people think, well, there's some things I do that don't feel good. Well, there are going to be. I mean, there are times when I wake up and I think to myself, doggone, I don't want to do a podcast today. I don't want to have to work this hard at this. But it's not because I love this portion of it. It's because I love the idea of what it can do for me. And I haven't even clearly defined that. I don't know how this podcasting thing works. All I know is that social media wasn't working for me. I would spend hours writing articles about this and that and these ideas, and then they would just go down into the abyss of information that Facebook collects on a daily basis. And no one's going to go back 2 years and look at my Facebook page. Unless, of course, they're trying to find something, unless, of course, they're wanting something, but it's gone. So that's why I said, okay, let me think here. Let me change this up so I can have a platform that not only motivates me to take action every day, but gives me the prospect of living a better life in the future. If there's nothing else, people can figure out what my next book is going to be about, because I have 219 podcasts that here and there kind of explain the concept. And the concept is simple. As an adult, if you spend your time doing things that you never want to stop doing, that you can't wait to get to and you hate to leave, you're already on your path to living your best life. But the question is that how you feel? Most days. Name those moments in your day when you actually get to sit back and feel that way about the thing you're engaged in. See, the sad part is that the majority of us aren't in that place at all. In fact, that place is somewhere so far down the road that most of us will never live long enough to see it. And it's not because we can't. It's because it's so difficult to change directions. It's so difficult to push down one of the walls on the box you live in called your life and head in a new direction, a direction where there isn't anyone else around you, or there are very few people around you to help you, to support you, to tell you you're okay because you did it, right? You're not going to get that. But what you will get by stepping outside your boxes, you'll get the opportunity to spend time doing things and living a life that you hope will never end. I mean, think about it. How many days a week do you wake up and sit back on your chair or in your bed as you open your eyes and you think to yourself, God, I don't ever want this to end. I don't ever want this to end. It's that great. I had one of those moments this weekend. I'm walking and I'm thinking about my life and all of the success that we've had in our life and the blessings of 3 wonderful children and their spouses and grandchildren and just all the opportunities that we've created for ourselves. I mean, and given our start, this is the last thing anyone would have expected, including me. And I'm sitting there walking and I'm thinking to myself, I don't ever want this to end. And that's how I know I'm on the right track. That's how I know that this works. That's how I know that this isn't just some sort of bullcrap story that I've made up because I want your attention. I'm not asking you for anything. I'm trying to give you something. I'm trying to give you the opportunity to wake up to things in your life that you love, things in your life that inspire you, that make all the struggle and effort you have to go through to do those things worth it. So when you look at your life and you think about the path you're on and what your life is going to look like in the next 5 days, 5 months, 5 years, how many things are you going to engage in that you actually truly don't want it to end? You truly love it so much that you're just like in it and you're saying, one more time, one more minute, one more opportunity. If that's where you are, then you're on the right track. Do more of that. Do more of that. Add more of that high value event or those high value experiences to your life. Those things that inspire you to get up early and to stay up late and to go without sleep and to struggle through your fears and to share your story knowing everyone around you will think you're crazy. What's interesting is the world, we want people to be like us. But there's a trap in that. Because that's why we don't tell our children, oh, no, that's great. Go out there and explore. You don't have to go to college straight out of high school. In fact, I would recommend you don't. You need to go explore. You need to learn what life is about. You need to learn how to work. You need to see or taste from the menu of life. You need to order some stuff you've never had before so you can say, okay, by comparison, this is pretty damn good. I mean, you don't have any idea until you've tasted it, right? And what do our children do? They do the same thing we did. They watch you. They learn from you. They take your ideas. They take your advice. They accept the choices you've made as their own. But let's face it, not all of our choices are great choices. I don't care who you are. Let's jump on that I love my house routine again. And I can remind you, you're not loving your house on Saturday mornings when you wake up and have to mow that lawn. And some people are saying, well, that's the struggle for the success that I've achieved. That's the struggle for what I love in my life. Well, sure, possibly it is. But if I have to choose between mowing a lawn every day for 30 years so I might have a property that's worth something so I can sell it, I'd much rather go ahead and spend my time doing something that I love while I can. See? You don't mow a lawn wishing, oh man, I hope this never ends. Out there pulling weeds, oh my God, I wish there were more weeds. We're almost done. No, it doesn't work like that. Now, I would imagine there are some people who do. There are some people who they get in their head, just like I do when I walk and talk or I do my workout. And they're out there taking care of their flowers and pulling weeds and gardening and taking care of their yard. And I believe they truly do enjoy it to such an extent that they don't want to see it go away. They hate the fall. They hate the fall because everything dies, right? But chances are that's not you. Chances are that is not you. Now, am I saying you can't have nice things? No, I have nice things. I have a nice home. It's just not a conventional home, and it's certainly not a trap. Because like we'll all agree, you have to have a place to live. But we don't all have to approach that in the same way. We don't all have to approach it in the same direction. So here's the test, or I guess here's the task at hand. So from this point forward, take a look at everything you do. And take a look at it from the standpoint of how much you want to continue doing it, how much you love the experience of engaging in that activity. And keep a tally of how many things actually reach that level of I don't ever want it to end. When you look at your life and the things you do, how many things can you actually say, oh, I could do this forever? And there's your list. And if you don't have 1 or 2 or 5 or 10, or maybe when you look at the whole entire package of your life and you just look at your life with a sense of appreciation where you just embrace every bit of it. If you can't look at it that way and say, oh God, it sucks. It sucks because someday I'm not going to be able to do this anymore. Someday I'm not going to be able to be here anymore. And you don't want it to end. You're on the right track. See, that's what this living your best life is all about. It's about understanding yourself well enough to be able to make choices that are away or apart, are no longer a part of what we've been taught. That's the easy road. If it weren't an easy road, how come it is that everyone around you is doing it? Everyone around you is making the same exact choices, and their children will make the same exact choices. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to start doing a better job of it. Maybe it's time just to stop for a second and ask yourself a question about why you choose the things you do. And then you're honest about how they truly feel. And then add something in there, add something in that mix every day that makes you go, wow, this is cool. I love this. I love this. I hate this. I love this. That's me in this podcast. I love it. I hate it. I love it. I'm not stopping because it's cool. So I don't know. I hope your Thanksgiving was great. I hope that you're inspired to continue to look for ways to improve your life, to find the true meaning of happiness, which is not happiness at all. It's about living a better life. It's about being able to find contentment in your life because your choices are so connected to who you are. See, the choices we make in life are not supposed to limit our access to life. They're supposed to increase our access to life. And if you're not accessing the kind of life you want to do, that is, if you're not doing the things you love to do amid all the struggle, you might want to take a second look at why you're choosing what you're choosing. And that's where it'll start. That's where you will start living your best life. So I think I can probably wrap this one up. Hey, listen, guys, I really appreciate it. I wake up every day excited and energized about my life and about the things I get to do. I implore you to go over and just click a like or take a view at my YouTube channel just because it spreads the word. Maybe my channel isn't for you. I'm not sure that the videos are going to change much. Maybe they will, and I'll probably throw that out there if I decide to work on it. But at this point, it's just me doing all of this. I am the producer and the star of the show and the guy that comes up with all of the dialogue and the stories that I tell. So maybe not, but in spite of that, if you take a look at what I've been saying, and more than that, if you listen to my story and my wife's story and how we've done it, you can have it all. But it has to be scaled. And you have to set it against a gauge that works. And there's no better gauge to set it against than who you are and what you love. So keep that in mind. And as always, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.